In California in 1966, the Black Panther Party was formed. Its primary purpose was for self-defense against police brutality and the monitoring of police behavior in the community. The party not only sought to educate people on open carry, but also on self-sufficiency when it came to food, health, and housing. Since this was all during a time when black people were treated less than fairly, they of course ran afoul of many local government and law enforcement agencies with their bold, empowering speeches and ability to use laws already put in place to their advantage and benefit. With these two opposing ideologies in play, it's no surprise that the opposing forces had many violent run-ins from the party's inception up until the decline in the early 80s. The Panthers were making so much of an impact that a California law was passed that prevented the open carry of loaded firearms in 1967 in response to the Panthers defending themselves against police brutality. I could spend all day talking about the Black Panthers and its impact on black people at the time. Its influence led to chapters being opened up all across the country in places like New York, Seattle, Philadelphia, and Chicago. It's Chicago's Black Panther chapter with the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, directed by Shaka chooses to focus its story on. Judas and the Black Messiah is one part the story of Fred Hampton, played effortlessly by Daniel Kaluuya, and his efforts to unite not just black people, but people of all colors and economic standing in Chicago with this Rainbow Coalition. It's another part the story of FBI informant Bill O'Neal, played by Lakeith Stanfield, who seeks to avoid imprisonment by infiltrating and learning as much about the Black Panthers as possible, especially Fred Hampton. It creates an interesting dynamic where on one side you have somebody who is doing what he can to look out for the people, and on the other side you have a guy who's primarily out to look out for himself, even if he is somewhat conflicted. The performances by both actors are outstanding throughout, with Kaluuya being a standout. He sounds just like Fred Hampton and looks as close to the real-life person as you can get. The dialogue is believable, and even without knowing exactly what was said, the actors do a great job of convincing you that a conversation went down exactly how you see it in the movie. Lakeith Stanfield also does a great job of looking like he's both parts nervous and in pain the whole time he's on screen. They both deserve all the praise for their performances. I feel like the movie does an admirable job trying to balance the two sides, but ends up unfortunately favoring the side of O'Neal to tell a more entertaining and tense story. The moments where we get to see Fred Hampton establish relationships with the community and teach self-sufficiency could have been a movie all on its own, and it would have been just as great a movie because the Panthers weren't perfect, and neither were the people they attempted to bring together, which includes gang members. Instead, the primary focus is on the internal struggle of Bill O'Neal as he tries to decide if what he's doing is worth it or if he should just go to jail to help save the struggle. It creates a literal devil and angel on the shoulder scenario where the devil represents the FBI agent telling O'Neal that what he's doing is the right thing, and the Panthers represent the angel telling him all the good things that are happening despite FBI interference. On the flip side, the FBI is telling him that they are the angels and the Panthers are the devil. In this case, O'Neal represents us, the audience. What choice would you make in this scenario? Would you save yourself or the party? It's not an easy choice to make, and you're meant to be put in O'Neal's shoes and feel his pain. Bill O'Neal can also represent the media's portrayal of the two sides at the time. On one side, you hear how terrible the Panthers are, but then you see for yourself what they really are, and now you have to report the truth. Or not in this case. I did find this internal struggle to be interesting, but I also felt like it took a little bit away from telling more of the story from the Panthers' perspective. I also took issue with the movie somewhat attempting to give the Chicago police a pass in some instances, by painting the Panthers as the aggressors, which doesn't completely line up with the truth. Overall, despite very small flaws, the movie is a must-see for the acting alone, and for the fact that it's the closest thing to a Black Panther movie or even a Fred Hampton movie that we have right now. Let me know how you felt about Judas and the Black Messiah in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.